Hey guys, just going to do a little Jays talk here today. Haven't filmed in a little while. I did a 10-day trip over to Portugal with my wife and kids. I planned on doing a little bit of recording while I was there, but it didn't work out that way. We were quite busy and always on the move. So yeah, you know how it goes. The main transaction that happened while I was gone, Max Scherzer is a Blue Jay. Go us. I think that's a great deal. The 15 or 16 million that we paid is pretty much, you know, you look at all of the contracts that starting pitchers signed, whether it's Verlander, Alex Cobb, any of like the Severinos. If a guy is a legit starting pitcher who will be penciled into the rotation, even if he's not a 1 or a 2 or a 3, 15 million seems to be the starting point for these guys at this point. So a 1-year deal at that price range, very little downside in my eyes. Obviously, best case scenario, he makes 30 starts and he's 3 ERA, lights out old Max. I don't see that being the case at this point. I'm hoping that between him and our training staff that seem to be pretty good at keeping major league starters healthy, I'm hoping they'll be able to work out some sort of load management. I would rather see him, you know, skip a start here and there or only go 4 or 5 innings the odd time, and get him through till the postseason. I think that's more valuable than getting 180 innings out of him in the regular season. I would much rather have the choice of Gausman, Barrios, Scherzer, Bassett, Francis, like all healthy come games 160 through 162 if you're trying to get into one of those wild card spots, and then the first couple of starts in the playoffs. I'd like to feel good about, you know, having 4 guys that can go in those games. And I think with this move, that definitely increases the odds of that happening. And I think Y-Rod will be a more valuable piece in the bullpen than he would have been in that situation anyways. So I'm hoping that everyone stays healthy enough. And if there are any later injuries, that it's with, Manoah coming back, or maybe Ricky Tiedemann coming back at the end of the year, or a Jake Bloss or a Trey Savage look really good in the minors, or somebody else who I'm not mentioning. So I'm hoping we can keep Y-Rod in the bullpen role and then fill that internally or through trade at the deadline if need be. But yeah, all around, I'm happy with the move. I think it really strengthens our pitching staff. It adds a little bit more compete there. I know Chris Bassett was on the Bunkus podcast and said, you know, as we all know, Scherzer is a real kind of animal. He's competitive. So I think between him and Bassett, it's a good mentality to install, or I should say instill in the pitching staff, especially with some of the young guys. I think an Alek Manoah is another guy that will benefit from being around those types of guys. So, yeah, love the move. What else is on the docket? Pete Alonso, apparently, you know, still in limbo. He hasn't committed to either team yet. The Blue Jays or the Mets seem to be the 2 front runners. Mixed reports. I don't like reading too far into what gets let out unless it's concrete. Unless you hear, like, you know, the New York Mets are 100% done on him or the Blue Jays are 100% done on him. I don't like trying to decipher who's spilling what information because I feel like there's just too much leading on, and it's kind of like politics, you know what I mean? It's like when a report comes out that, oh yeah, Mets have upped their offer. Is that a agent that's leaking that? Is that the team that's leaking that? Is it someone trying to get to the Blue Jays to up their offer, even though they're already the highest offer? Like you just never know. You can never take things just at face value. You can never just read a report and say that's what it is. You've got to kind of wonder what's going on behind the scenes and who's motivated to share this information and what they're trying to get out of it. So while I think the Blue Jays will likely be the highest offer for Pete Alonso, and I think he has legitimate interest, especially with Scherzer, I don't think the reports that, you know, it's a done deal, just wait, are obviously true, because I don't think it would take this long. And I'll never rule out the Mets until it's actually over, just because he's comfortable there, his family's comfortable there. It's where, you know, it's always the incumbent that's the scary one, right? It's always like the player's home that you're most worried about. Same with Alex Bregman, to be honest. It's the same situation in my eyes, really. So yeah, I think the Blue Jays are being very aggressive. I think we have a real shot at both of those players. But until I hear 100% pen is put to paper, I'm still not going to get my hopes up entirely. I'm optimistic we get one of the two. And you know what? The more I've thought about it, the more Alex Bregman really does fit the mold of what this team looks for. You know, the defensive versatility, or I shouldn't say versatility, but like the prowess at third base. Gold glove defense. He's a top of the order bat, which we need. I probably lean towards Alonso. just based on the term and the contract he's likely to get. But I have to say Bregman's the better overall player at this point. The term is what's scary. But if you can get him on, a 5 or 6 year deal with an opt out after 2, he's likely going to put up more wins than Alonso. And does he bat leadoff? Does Bo bat leadoff with Bregman behind him? I'll put it this way: there's a fit for both guys. Would I love to see Guerrero, Alonso, Santander batting, 3, 4, 5 or 2, 3, 4? Absolutely. The power would be phenomenal. We'd be seeing 200 home runs for the team likely. It would definitely be exciting ball. But at the same time, I get where slotting in Alex Bregman at third base and having just a Gold Glove defender there, along with a fairly good bat. He's not going to hit the home runs, but he's definitely a good hitter. I see the validity to both picks. And as I said, Bregman probably adds more wins than Alonso, but given the money, given the term, things like that, I would be happy with either one. That's really where I'll leave it off today, because I guess we'll just be waiting on more news at this point. Let me know what you guys think. Which guy do you want more? Are you a Bregman fan? Are you an Alonso fan? I'm judging just from what I've seen on X that a lot of people seem to be kind of out on Bregman. I'm assuming that's because of the term. If there is a different reason, please let me know that, because I'd be curious why people wouldn't want a Gold Glover who can hit at the top of your order. Is it just the feeling snake bitten over Springer coming from the Astros, or is it something different that you just don't like about his game? I always like to know that when people just seem to be out on a player for a reason that isn't obvious. Anyways, let me know in the comments below, and I'll talk to you guys later if there's any further news. Okay, bye-bye.